Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. If you're interested in a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Gemini? That's curious. You got a very good connection, a very good social atmosphere, yet things aren't really moving. So I'm curious, you're loving it? Why are you loving it so much? This seems to be really good for you. I'd like to, oh, where is this showing up? That's a good question. There's a lot of stuff going on around here. Where is this for you is a good question. And because you're Gemini, I feel like it's kind of like popping in and out, coming in and out, boom, boom. It gets everywhere. But like, are you going to get to do something with that is my question. All right, that's what we're trying to work towards. What is the opportunity? Where is it for you? What can you do with it? It's an in-out energy, in-out energy, in-out energy. Whatever this opportunity is, it's shown up already. But you're Gemini. You may have seen it, but not realize you've seen it. You may have seen something there and kind of looked at it at a couple angles, but not all the angles yet. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I knew that house was there. That's fine. I don't care. But there might be something about that house that you haven't discovered yet. You know it's there, but what's in that house? Who lives there? Why is it there? Who built it? Where's it going? Who's buying it next? Whatever. You had 2 cards fall out of the opportunities deck. Opportunities deck? It's Oracle deck. What does it say? Wisdom and meditation. This might be why this energy isn't moving is actually really good for you, because I think you already have the answer. You just don't realize you have the answer. From what I understand of Geminis, your minds are very busy. There's a lot going on. It's getting it under control and like focusing it to get what you want out of it. For some, I have heard as a challenge at times, depending on what else in life you're dealing with, especially if you have a busy life, a busy social life, and you got things going here and things going there. There might be a lot going on in your brain. I feel like you already have it. They're like, if we can slow down for a minute, identify what's missing, and then start thinking about, well, this is missing, what would fill that void? Because I feel like that's what they want. It's like, I feel like I'm bored, I'm stuck. Is that the 4 of Cups? Opportunity is there. It's there, but it's like, I don't realize it's there. You already have the answer, you just don't realize you have it. I can see how that would be very frustrating. Can we get like a little bit more about that? The energy wants to pick up, I want to move, I want to do something, I want to start something, I'm ready to change what's going on here. The urge is there to do it. The Lover's card popped up on the dice. That is your card. That is definitely your card. And then I got the Page of Swords. So there's like, they're backing it up in the sense of like, the answer is here. The answer is here. What you want is already here. How do you find it though? Like, I don't understand. I think me saying it's here, like, how is that helping you? How is that helping you? How do I help you find it? That's like, how do you find it? Okay. Slowing down, meditation. Gemini is a very active energy. There's a lot going on in your brain from what I understand. So just, I feel like it's kind of almost ridiculous for me to say like, oh, just meditate and let your mind go quiet. Okay. I don't think that's how Geminis actually work. I could be wrong. I'm not a Gemini, but I just feel like it's foolish that I'm saying that. Nope, this is you. It's all you. Okay. The Justice card can talk about Libra energy, which is a compatible energy for Gemini. It's also air. But this is you dictating and controlling, like, wait a minute, what's working, what's not working? What information is interesting and fun, yet not really taking me anywhere? What information is, like, potentially has the ability to change my life, but maybe I'm not looking in deep enough? What information is, like, going to take a little bit more legwork to actually find out what's there? Is that part of it? That might be part of it. Because, like I talked about, yeah, I know that house is there, but, you know, there's only so much information I can find online. Maybe you got to go up to the door and knock on the door. I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm just saying it's an option. It's an idea. Be careful. Just don't. I wouldn't just randomly walk up to somebody's house and knock on the door. I just wouldn't do it. But you're gonna make up your own life. You know, do what you got to do. I don't know. Today's day and age, I don't think people really like that. But whatever happens, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, it's something that takes more legwork. Something where I have to go physically there and look. This reminds me of, like, this one place I know. It has an online store and there's interesting stuff there. But when I went there and looked in person, I saw, or some things just look different in person. Some things are more impressive in person. Some people look better. Some things look better online than they actually are. You know. I feel like this is an in-person moment that's kind of like helping get closer to, like, whatever this is. There's only so much you can get through social media or whatever. It's like, I need to see it in person. I need to see it in my tangible hand. We're going right over here. Okay. Conflict is supposed to happen, not in a bad way, in a good way. I feel like it's more like, I don't know what to do yet, or I don't know if I want to do that. Like, sometimes this card can come up like social anxiety, sometimes, something like that. It doesn't have to be like, you know, physically violent. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just conflict of some color. But I feel like it's more like social, or like, I don't know if I really want to go there. Like, there's a store I'm thinking of, it's like an hour away from me. It's kind of like, do I want to spend the time to go there? Is that the only thing I'm going to go there for? Because it's an hour there, an hour back. That takes up some time. That takes up some gas money, blah, 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 blah. Is there a way I could make this more advantageous for me? Can I go check this out, take some friends with me, or go visit some friends that are out that way anyway? Maybe have lunch with some people, go check out the store with a group of people, maybe, whatever, and then make a day of it and come back. Is that really viable? Is that more time than I want to spend with this situation? Blah, blah, blah. There's some conflict energy going on here. And I feel like I am going on and on about it, which they're also saying be careful not to go on and on about it, even though I feel like I just started to. It was the beginning of it. You know how it goes. Yeah, be careful not to overthink it is what I'm getting with the Two of Pentacles. This doesn't have to be like I have to get deep, deep, deep into it. I just got to get a little closer to it and tangibly see what it is, because I feel like once I tangibly see, there's going to be things like, oh, wait, look at that. Oh, wait, look at this. Oh, okay. Oh, no, not that. This maybe. That, no. This, that, yeah. Well, actually, that, definitely yes. I feel like that's what's going on here. If I'm in person looking at things. The energy is like really like ramped up. You may be able to, you are a Gemini, and I feel like Gemini can be a very good communicator when you focus. What do we mean by that? Gemini, like the way you talk sometimes, it takes another highly intellectual person to keep up. But if you focus and realize who you're talking to and what you need from them, you can be extremely effective. It just takes a little bit of focus. I'm not a Gemini, so I hope this makes sense the way I'm saying this. Geminis are really smart. I feel like, you know, you're underestimated. People don't understand. People tend to not understand Geminis. and you talk beyond them and they can't keep up with your thoughts. I feel like they don't understand how smart you are because of it. Unless they're another intellectual person, which they can keep up with the thought process, then they see it, then they get it. Otherwise, I feel like the majority of people just can't keep up with your thought process. So, that being said, you also have the ability, once you realize who you're talking to and you think about what they can and cannot keep up with, and you focus that energy, especially if you have a goal in mind and there's information you want, you can be very effective if you choose to. But it's like staying conscious in the moment, staying like, all right, I'm talking to so and so here. You know what I mean? They're not into the nope, can't make it happen. They're not into the high intellectual thoughts. They're not into that. They're into the 1 + 2 = 3. That's fine. That doesn't make anybody more or less valuable. They're just not into the high philosophical. Can't make the word happen. I don't know why. They're not into that. It's not gonna work. So I gotta keep it like base level. I gotta also make it not look like I'm trying to make it base level, which you know how to do that. And I gotta ask the questions I want, get the answers I'm looking for, to decide where I want to go, how far I want to go with something. Is there something there? Have they seen something? There's talking with other people, but it's almost like even if they're not in the same wavelength, they're not intellectual like you are, it's almost like, yeah, but I want a different viewpoint because they're going to say it in a certain way and I'm going to realize they saw something that I didn't see because I'm looking at it through this angle. They look at it from this angle. They have a totally different view of life, and they're going to say what I need to hear, whether I need to go in there and tangibly grab something to see it myself, or it's like, oh, okay, that doesn't sound like that's really what I'm looking for. I feel like this reading is getting a little complicated, but I also feel like if this is hitting, you know what you're looking for once you get this far. So, like, for some of you, are you looking for a job? Are you looking for a house? Are you looking for a partner? What are you looking for? Are you looking for an animal, pet, whatever you want to say? This is hopefully bringing you closer to get what you actually want. Because your outcome is the Sun card and the Empress card. You getting what you want and being very happy with it and literally linking up with what you already knew. I don't feel like that's right. I feel like linking up with something that's already there. I feel like that's better. If I say you already knew it, I just don't feel like that hits right. That doesn't make sense as well as like, it's already there. It's just, I don't realize that it's already there. And you have accompanying energy that's going to link up with you and help you get what you want. A very positive energy towards you. An energy that will honestly answer the questions and not really worry about what you're going to do with it. Somebody wants to help you move forward. There's a good energy here. And again, it's already there. It's just realizing it's there, whatever it is you're looking for. I don't know. Have I given a good enough analogy with that? Because the pet thing, I was almost like, maybe you're looking for an animal that's very cuddly and going to be nice to people that you could have around, that you don't have to be worried about this and worried about that. And like somebody around you might have the answer, the type of animal you want, the type of pet that would work for your situation. You're like, well, I don't think this animal would maybe you don't think a cat would work, and maybe that you don't think a dog would work, but maybe there's other options out there that you're not considering. And you just get it out there and start talking to people, and then you get like, somebody says, well, what about this? And you're like, what is that? So-and-so has one. Oh, is that what that is? Okay, let me talk to them. Blah, 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 blah. And that gets you off and running. Because you have a really great outcome. It's like, how do we get there? It's weird. Sometimes I do Gemini readings. I'm not a Gemini, I'm a Pisces. And it just seems like it goes very far into a lot of different directions, but I think you all understand it a lot more than me. So I hope it's effective, and I hope it helps you get where you want to be. So I'm going to let it go there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.